Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, hello.
We have a very special guest. It is not Rod Stewart.
It's not Rod Stewart, but did you think it was?
It's Rod Stewart, second best.
It's the closest thing you're going to get to Rod Stewart ever.
We have Danna's mother-in-law.
This is my husband's mom. This is Maria.
This is Tommy's mom.
She does call him Tommy, and so Kristen and Bill feel the need to call him Tommy when they're here, and it is quite comical.
It's so much fun to call him Tommy.
Hello, everyone.
This is Maria.
So Maria is fresh off of a flight from Vegas
For
right
7
now.
days.
Like, who goes to Vegas for a full week? I feel like that's aggressive.
She survived Vegas for 7 days. That's impressive.
She survived my father-in-law for 7 days, which is more impressive.
So the real question is, how many times did you see Rod Stewart in concert while you were there?
Twice.
2 times. And what row did you sit in?
Front row, always.
Do you have a special
Is there
seat?
another row?
Yeah, right.
Yes, I do have a special section, 303.
Oh my God.
What's so special
Because
about
Rod-
303?
Rod-
My whole inheritance is going to Caesars, you guys.
He favors one side of the stage. So, of course, you learn. You have to pick that side of the stage. And he comes and shakes your hand and kisses your hand. And
Kisses your hand.
he used to bring us up on stage.
I was just going to say, tell them you've been brought up on stage
Yeah, but they
before.
took the steps away now.
Because of crazy ladies. Weird.
No.
What's the average age of the fans there?
65 years old.
He's 65 plus.
The whole crowd is all?
No, there's a lot of young ones, Danna, your age and even younger now.
Danna's been to a concert.
I will say when we went over the summer and it was a wide range. Now, granted, I think that Billy Joel was there also, and I think that he also brought a wide range, but either way, Billy Joel's not exactly a youngin'.
The Coliseum at Caesars is a very small venue, so it's always sold out. Every concert is sold out, and it's the same. Like, I have so many friends from England and Scotland, and we're all Instagram friends, and we meet up when he's in Vegas.
She did say hi to all of them when we were in Cleveland,
Yes,
and
and
she
Give
saw
them a
them
shout
all.
out. She'll have to share in your page.
Yes,
Yes.
my friend Ruth was there.
Oh yeah,
and
Ruth. Ruth was the one I
Robin.
met.
Who you met?
Robin
Ruth
was
I met.
there.
Yeah.
So I get to see all my friends.
Ruth was trying to get us backstage. Ooh. Yeah, it didn't work.
So, what do you wear to a Rod Stewart concert?
Well, I mean, I like to dress up. He likes to when you're dressed in black and sexy, and
He being Rod Stewart, not
Yeah.
her husband.
yeah. You just have to impress.
So Maria's husband, Sandy, is right here, and he's just shaking his head and laughing. Because what does Sandy do? We kind of talked about this last week.
Oh,
We
but
did.
what
We
does
brought
he
it
do when you're at the concert?
Okay, so Rod's been in Vegas for 13 years. He had the residency. So when we first started going, Sandy would come with me, and I'd have to spend 2 tickets in the front row.
right.
And he does not really like to go to see Rod
Did
Stewart.
he fall asleep during a concert?
He slouched down in his seat. It was so embarrassing. So that was like the last straw. I'm
I
like,
did
you
not
know
lie.
what? So I get to go now to 2 or 3, and he doesn't have to go. He waits for me in the bar. So
That's the perfect marriage.
it's perfect.
So we have you here. So I want to know like all the scoop on all the things. So when did you meet Danna for the first time? Recount that story.
We're
when
already
Tommy,
going through this.
We're going back
We're
to
not
high
gonna
school.
talk about Rod Stewart
Well, I want to
anymore?
hear this story because I feel like this is going to explain a lot. When was
I
the
don't
first
even- do
time
you
Tom
remember?
brought her home?
I mean, he took you to the dance.
Yeah, but that was way after. I don't know. I
When
remember.
was the first time you met his parents?
I remember the first time. I
When we
didn't
were at
meet you.
Ridgebury.
Yeah, I'm Ridgebury, but didn't meet you. I met Sandy, my father-in-law, because I used to smoke cigarettes, and I was like,
I didn't know that.
yeah, you did.
Time
Don't
out. Did
even
Sandy
hang
give you cigarettes?
No, but I was like smoking a cigarette outside the house, and there he came, and he was like, "Oh, you smoke too? I'll come smoke with you." And he was my best buddy.
Oh my gosh, this is so bad.
I don't remember.
Wait, that's a real true story?
Yeah, that is a true story.
That's horrible.
It's literally the
Sandy,
first time.
shame on you.
I actually remember meeting him. I don't
Shame
remember.
on you, Danna.
It was a different time. I don't remember.
I'm so glad you quit smoking.
I don't remember the first time I ever met you, though.
I know.
Oh, I do remember the first time I ate over, she made steak and lobster, and I was like, whew, I hit the jackpot. But I didn't know.
That was a normal
I did
dinner.
not hit the jackpot, in case anyone is wondering. I
don't
thought
even
I
like
did.
lobster.
I don't even like lobster, but I was like, oh, but it's okay. They're fine.
So back to Rod Stewart. I want to hear about the outfit. So you wear black because Rod likes it.
Yeah, just
and he likes you to look sexy. What does sexy mean to Rod
Vegas
Stewart?
attire.
Okay, well, describe that. I've only been to Vegas once.
Glam.
Yeah, glam.
Glam.
You just hair and makeup, high heels, low cut. You just have to look cute.
Okay.
Because if you look cute, then he'll come down and give you some attention.
Would Rod come down if I looked like this?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No,
Just so
She
our,
just said-
our listeners might be curious what she just said. She said, if you guys are on video, why don't you have any makeup on or anything?
She did. And we're like, because we don't care.
Thanks for telling me how you really feel about how I look.
Oh my God.
Okay, so wait. So back to Rod Stewart. So tell them. So you have been to how many? If you had to guess.
Wait, let's back up. So,
Oh, boy.
For my prom, I was 15, and I took Sandy to the prom. I first met him.
Aww.
He was older though.
He was older,
He was 5 years older. So she took a 20-year-old to the prom.
and
5 years older at 15? That's
Yeah.
illegal.
It was very illegal.
but my parents knew his parents,
Okay, it was
and
okay.
they grew up in Little Italy together. So we were able to date. I had to be home by 11 o'clock every day. Anyway,
The microphone, I promise you, it's not too loud.
so I was on the student council at Regina, so I picked a song for the dance, and it was "Tonight's the Night." And this is
Maybe we should play it.
a Catholic, girls' school, and they didn't really read the words to the song.
They didn't know what it meant.
No. And so him and I danced to that song, and that's when we started
The
dating.
rest is history?
Yeah, the rest is history.
Aw, that's so
I know. So ever since 15, I've been going to see him every time he comes to Cleveland, or we go to Vegas or Detroit.
This is the song I'm playing it right now. In case you're wondering, it's really not appropriate
It's
for a
not
high
appropriate.
school dance.
No, and I got
An all-girls?
Yeah.
in trouble after the dance.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, you
because of
did?
the words. Yes, I did.
What did they do?
Like literally, don't say a word, my virgin child.
Spread your wings.
This is very inappropriate.
Music.
I just stopped it.
We're gonna get
We're gonna get like FCC violated.
So anyway, after that, I've been going every couple years since I was 15.
Okay, but not, like you have gone, I would say, every year that I've known you.
Every year, sometimes twice.
Yes, so
or
that's
3
what I'm saying.
times.
So
it just depends where
so
he is.
she's 6-some years old, and so a long time since 15. That's a lot of concerts, is
lot.
my point. So like, I bet you it's over 40 to 50 concerts, if not more.
Okay, so we've heard some stories about how you've maybe met Rod Stewart when you were very young. Tell us the real story. We talked about it last week.
I
but
brought it up that what you had told me. but,
give
like,
us
you
the
give
real
story.
scoop of how you got.
That's the real story.
Well, just say, like, tell the
you
story
tell us
about,
the
like,
So the real story, my husband, well, he was my boyfriend at the time, took my girlfriends and I to the concert, and it was at, Danna, where was it? Out in the Coliseum, the original
Richfield.
Yes.
Richfield Coliseum.
Richfield Coliseum.
That's where the Cavs used to play.
I called all the downtown hotels to find out where he was staying.
And, like, this was a different time. Like, right? Like, now they would, like, literally hang up
One
on
of,
you and
one
call
of
the
my
police.
cousins worked at the hotel.
Okay.
I'm not going to mention her name. And she told me, yes, you're correct. He's staying here. So it was Stouffer's Inn on the square at the time. So after the concert, I talked Sandy into dropping us off, and he did not want to stay. He had to go to work. So he drops me and my girlfriend off at the
How old were you?
15, 16.
That's like, would I drop
17.
Olivia off?
17, I don't remember.
Like, you were your granddaughter's age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine this?
Yep. And I was built just like her too. So anyways, he says, I'm leaving. You guys have to take a taxi home. And we're like, okay, fine. So it's 11 o'clock at night, and the whole band is at the bar, and we're too young to go to the bar. So we're just watching the band from afar. until they got in the elevator and went upstairs. And now we're like, now the party's going to start. We have to figure out what floor he's on. So we got off. It's the Stouffer's isn't on the square. The elevators were in a circle, and all the rooms were in a big round circle. So we went up and got off at every single floor listening for noise, like a band playing music. We didn't hear any noise. So now we're all disappointed. How are we going to find them? And we're coming back down. There's like 20-some floors. And the cleaning lady gets in. It's like 1 a.m. now. And she told us what floor he was on, floor 13. So
Where did your parents think you were?
I was
at this
just
moment?
thinking this literally. That
You're
like,
out that late. What did your parents say?
I think it was a weekend, and I was probably staying at my girlfriend's.
yeah, that sounds about right.
So anyways, we got off at the floor she told us to, and we're still very quiet. So we're walking around, and the door was cracked, and we hear all these British voices, British accents. And we're like, is this seriously? How could he have the door cracked, you know? So we were arguing, who's going to knock? Who's going to knock at the door? We were both afraid to knock. So we finally, one of us knocked. They let us in. And we're like in the room with the whole band and Rod Stewart.
Were
And
there other like weird groupies
no,
like you?
there was
no,
no
just
one
you.
else, just us two young girls there.
So how old was Rod Stewart at this time?
This was in 70, let's see, I graduated in 79, so this had to be 77 or 78.
He was probably in his 20s, I bet then.
like 28 or
yeah,
30.
I would say late 20s.
Early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is when he just started, like, he left the other bands he was in and went out on his own. But they were all, like, gentlemen. Nothing bad happened, honestly. Like, it was the best experience, and I took the do not disturb sign off the door.
You still have it, right?
I still have it in my jewelry box. Yes, I do.
So what were they doing in the hotel room? Like, how were they dressed after the concert? Like, what was the hotel room like?
The hotel
She
room
wants
was,
the vibe.
like, it was huge. It was like, it seemed like it was multiple rooms and a living room and, you know, suite or whatever you would call it. It was a mess. Like, there were bottles and things thrown everywhere and clothes thrown everywhere. But I mean, we probably were only in there 15 or 20 minutes. It wasn't, you know,
So
all
how did the
night.
exit go? Like, how did you decide, okay, we met him, like, we got to go now?
Yeah, we just said goodbye. I mean, we were in shock. Like, we didn't even realize, I don't think, what was really happening.
I mean, I feel like that's a pretty crazy story.
It's
Like,
insane.
This would never happen today. They'd have security guards.
I'm telling you,
and-
like, especially that the door was open.
yeah, cracked.
like,
He was
cracked
waiting for you, Maria.
Open. It was meant to be.
Yeah, for sure. This is
I can't.
crazy.
I cannot. Do you even understand when you probably don't remember this, but I can remember like one time Tom, I mean, we were young. We were not married yet. We were dating. So I was probably a teenager or early 20s. She tried to get me to go to the Ritz-Carlton because she heard he was staying at the Ritz-Carlton. And I think Tina was in town. This is her sister. And they were trying to get me to drive them to the
so
Ritz-Carlton.
did you meet him at the Ritz?
No, I don't think we went. We didn't go, but like.
No, this was the only time I met him was when I was very young. I mean, in Vegas, he brings us on the stage, especially if you wear the green and white Celtic United shirts. So I've been brought up on stage many times, and
Many times.
Okay, so we were discussing this over our
Sorry,
dinner
my
tonight.
phone was just
so
ringing.
tell us about the song and the backstory. That's not really about a girl. It's about a football team.
Oh, yeah. So what song were we just talking about?
you're in my heart.
You're in my heart.
soul.
You're in my soul. You would think that's about a girl.
It's really about the Celtic United football team. We call it soccer, but they call it football.
Does he own
Yeah.
the team? He
No,
just loves the team.
no, but he was going to be a professional soccer player, footballer.
Then he thought
When he-
music was his better option.
Yes.
Turned out okay.
Probably worked out better for him.
Now, tell me the history about the haircut. Has he always had hair like this?
As long as I know.
So he's got to stick with it.
It's his thing. It's like his shtick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why your darling mother-in-law decided to be a beautician.
Oh my God, I can't.
That was my first career. I have a beautician's license.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I wanted to be his hairstylist.
You wanted to be Rod's hairstylist.
Oh, yes.
But you really then could have been Rod's nurse.
And after I graduated and started doing women's hair, I hated it. But I wanted to go to California and be his hairstylist. But I met my husband and we got married, so that canned that idea.
So then you
Ruined
went
it.
to nursing school.
Ruined her life.
How did you end up going to nursing school?
I started working at the Cleveland Clinic when I decided I didn't like doing hair. My girlfriend worked there. She was a unit secretary in intensive care. And I said, I'll try it. And I really loved, working in the hospital. So I went to school to be a nurse, evening, weekends. And that's how it all started.
Interesting.
So then I have a nursing license.
And now you work in medical sales, but connected to, you always worked in heart, right?
Yes,
Heart.
always cardiology. Yes, I was a cardiac sonographer, cardiac nurse. And I was 20 years at the Cleveland Clinic and the next 20 years in industry selling the imaging equipment that I used to use.
Meanwhile, all the time, you loved your daughter-in-law, loved your
Obviously,
son,
she's so lucky.
and you love to cook.
Oh, yeah.
Love to cook.
Love to cook. And
She's when I got married, she told me I had to learn how to make sauce, and she made me learn how to make
And you
sauce.
learned,
Yeah,
and you-
I did. I learned.
you're a really
But
good
now I
cook.
never have to make sauce because she makes it and then sends it
Oh,
over.
come
But I
on.
do know how. If I had to make it, I could make it.
you know how to make it.
Yes, I do.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Oh, it just depends. I mean, I love cooking Italian, making bread, making wedding soup for the kids.
Well, she made wedding soup for our wedding.
Yes.
So thank you very much. The biggest
Yeah.
pot of wedding soup I've ever seen
Yes.
in my entire life. It was huge.
That's a normal size.
It was huge.
She said it's a normal size.
Normal size.
Like literally, it was like the stone soup pot you think about in the
Yeah,
story.
like-
It was
like a
the
witch's
5
brew.
gallons.
Right,
That's what it
right.
was.
Yeah, that's my grandmother's pot.
Yeah.
You have to use that pot.
Yeah, it was good.
That's
Yes.
my sauce pot, too.
Yeah, she is an excellent cook, so she did teach me how to cook, so I'm very lucky.
And you used to come and help me cook
Yeah,
and clean.
yeah. I
And
would help
decorate for
clean
all
and
the
everything.
holidays.
Yeah, and now she makes my kids go and do all that, but they love it. Like they love to go and like do nannies. Now they're getting older, but when they were little, like that was so fun. Like they would go do
When you
nanny's
were
tree.
asking me when I remember meeting you, I can't remember the exact day,
me
but I
neither.
used to remember how you'd come and help me.
Yeah.
Get ready for all the holidays.
Yeah,
and help
always.
me put the Christmas tree
So
up.
are you
and-
saying you actually like Danna?
Oh, yeah.
We won't tell anyone.
I love my daughter-in-law.
That was real
Oh
convincing.
yeah.
That was real
I don't care what they
convincing.
say. yeah.
She's
That's
pinching
so
me
funny.
under the table.
I know, she's like,
kicking
end
me,
this
pinching me.
conversation.
She's like, I gotta go.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So today is actually, we're podcasting early. Today is St. Patrick's Day. That's why we're all in our green.
Yes.
We just had traditional St. Patrick's Day dinner. We had corned beef. We had an Irish cheese that was really good. Kristen made cheesecake.
I made it was Bailey's Irish cheesecake.
Excellent.
Let's be real. I needed to chill more. So here's how this story went.
feel
So
like
Bill
you
likes
could've-
the side dishes. And as we all know, if you listen, you know. And so Bill likes the side dishes. But then I said, here's what we're having for dinner. Is this enough options? And then he says, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, do you want anything for dessert? And he says, oh, no, I'm not eating dessert. Meanwhile, I walk into the office and he's scrolling the computer for Irish desserts. I'm like, do you want a
Clearly wanted
dessert?
something.
He's like, how about this Bailey's cheesecake with a ganache? I'm like, okay, I've never made that, but sure, whatever. And then I'm like, I have all the ingredients. And then I said, shoot, I don't have gluten-free Oreos. So we had to go to the store to buy the gluten-free Oreos.
Which, to be clear, while I am incredibly grateful, I would have just eaten the cheesecake part. I would have been
That's
okay
what I
with
told
it.
Bill.
Yeah, I would have
but
been
then
okay
he's
with
like,
it.
let's just run and grab them. So we did.
So good.
So
It
you're
was
saying
good, but it
this was
needed-
Bill's idea to do something nice for me.
It was. So, but it really should have been chilled
Shocking.
more because, it needed to chill for 6 hours and then you put the ganache. So I rushed it a bit. So tomorrow, the cheesecake, while was delicious today, it'll be even better tomorrow.
Consistency was not where it should have been.
Right, because
but
it needed to
taste
sit.
was
So we had to
fantastic.
rush it. But
Yes.
by golly, Bill got his dessert.
He sure, of course he did. He gets
So.
everything that he wants. That's just perfect. It's just lovely. Give an update on what's going on your property right now.
Oh, so the barn. So we'll give the weekly barn update that the foundation got poured. And today the forms were removed. So we actually have a real foundation that has stood on its own. So that's
Very
a positive.
exciting.
This week, hopefully, by the time we podcast next, we will have all the backfill done on the foundation. We will have all the water lines put in. And we will be getting ready to concrete the floor.
It's very exciting. You got lucky with weather last week.
We got so lucky.
Yes.
So lucky.
So We have nothing going on in our house, in case anyone's wondering. I genuinely
I mean, you're having a
have
big
nothing.
party right now because I feel like
this is a normal. Don't you feel like this is pretty normal?
this is pretty normal. We've got
Yeah.
all the kids.
All the kids
we've got
are here tonight.
We've got Vinny here, Olivia's boyfriend.
Yes.
Who we're really loving Vinny. He's so nice, but
So
Vinny needs
is the
to start
pickiest,
trying new
he's
foods.
the pickiest eater ever, but
He likes Thousand Island. He's not that picky.
He did eat corned beef.
I
at
was
Thousand
shocked.
Island, but
Shocked.
He
wouldn't eat barf last night. Hamburger stroganoff. What's wrong with you, Vinny? You won't eat barf. Hamburger stroganoff.
We're making him try things.
slow strides.
getting him there.
So
What? He did eat pierogies,
Which is shocking,
here the
too.
other night. I know. I wouldn't have thought he would have eaten that, and he ate that.
anyways, but our time has come to an end. Maria, we are so glad to have you as a guest.
Thank you for having me. This was
We
an honor.
we actually had to like make her stay because her poor husband. They just got off the plane
They
from
literally
Vegas.
they were coming
They've
here to
been up
pick their
since like
dog
2
up.
a.m. And poor Ruby, she's like scarred and ready to go home.
Ruby's ready to. We're
and we
kind of
made
ready
Sandy
for Ruby not to poo
stay.
in our house anymore. So no offense.
We never even,
but
unfortunately, we never even got to the other poo stories. Darn, we're out of time
so
today.
sad. Save those for next week.
Save those for next week. Okay, let's leave it on a little musical stretch here.
Oh,
We need
wait,
some Rod.
Hold on. I'm making my husband.
What do you call Rod? Is there a short name you give him?
Well, what do you mean? Is there a short
call him?
name? Like-
Rod, just Rod. Yeah.
Rod.
And
Let's-
Ruby's named after Rod's daughter, Ruby.
Of course.
Of course,
Ruby
that's
Stewart
great.
is his
Ruby
daughter.
Stewart's his daughter. See, this is perfect. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. We're gonna let it play.
Yeah, we'll let this play out.
And I'm just gonna say right now, we're gonna play a couple minutes, but until next time, friends, we're mismatched. Enjoy a little Rod. This is some good tunes. I think I would like a concert.
It was
Like I would.
You
Oh,
want me
this
to
is
sing
a
along?
good song. Yeah, go. Maria, do you sing?
She sings when we're at the concert. I did it. She was surprised I knew the music. I did. I knew all of it.
We're gonna get a violation for playing Rod Stewart, but
Really are.
however,
But maybe
she spends
we'll
enough
get Rod
money.
Stewart's attention.
Maybe Rod will be a guest.
What?
We're going to have fun.
Oh, we tried a real quick story. This, if you're still listening, for her 60th, we surprised her and took her to this little house in Saugatuck, Michigan, and it was so fun. Like
On a
us and the
beautiful
kids,
lake.
beautiful Lake Michigan. It was awesome. And we tried to get him to come, and he obviously did not like respond to us. So instead, we got a full life-size cutout of Rod Stewart there.
Who greeted me in the morning
He was
when
there
I woke
first thing when we
up.
woke up. We have pictures of
It
all
was
of us
so
with
cute.
Rod Stewart.
I still
so.
have all those cutouts.
Because
Yes.
Rod is forever young.
He is forever young.
Whatever he's doing with his skincare, it's working.
It's working.
It's working.
I need his doctor. All right, everybody, have a great week.
And I didn't even tell you all the times I hang out at the pool.
Oh,
Wait,
why would you
wait,
not
time
tell
out.
us
I
that?
forgot. With
You
this
hung out at
band,
the pool?
With the band. Yeah,
You know his
at
bandmates'
Caesars.
names?
I do.
What are their names?
Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
You don't remember. That's
You
okay.
know them.
Holly, Joanna.
Oh, Holly, you told me
Becca.
about Holly.
Those
Because
are
you
the-
said, that's
those are all the
Holly, the backup
singers.
singers.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Kevin's the pianist, and him and his wife
This
were in
is
the
so
pool with me
impressive.
before.
Wow.
Yeah.
My life's boring.
Same.
Okay, friends. Forever young.
Bye, everyone.